Hey you guys! So today's gonna be just like a quick one take Q&A kind of video because I've been getting a lot of questions in my Snapchat and my Instagram and Facebook and all this stuff. And for those of you that actually do like watching everything and people that are genuinely curious, I figured I'd answer them for you guys. Just a couple, like 5 or 6 or so questions. So yeah, I have been trying to do the daily vlogs, but every time I try to edit in Movie Maker, I'll be in the middle of editing and then all of a sudden Movie Maker's like, oh sorry, file's corrupt, and it won't let me save. So I apologize again for those who actually do watch and I miss the daily vlogs even though it was only a week, but I know some people actually did like watching every day. I am still going to keep trying to do, I read online that I have to uninstall Movie Maker and then reinstall it, so yay. I'm gonna try and do that this afternoon, but for now, just because I really want to put a video up and I really want to answer your guys' questions, so that's what we're gonna do. So hopefully since this is a one take, I can just upload it without editing it and call it a day, I guess, so we'll see. So yeah, I just got a couple of questions that people have been asking me, like I said, on my social media and whatnot. So let's just jump into it. So the first question, and honestly kind of one of the weirdest questions, someone asked, how do you handle Dalton having a girlfriend? Well, since we've broken up, he's had a couple of girlfriends. He's had like 2, I think this is the 3rd one or something. I don't know. But I mean, even I went out with a couple of guys, before Lawson and I officially were back together. So that obviously didn't work out very well at all. Ugh. So yeah, I mean, I have a boyfriend, Dalton's got a girlfriend. Great. I mean, I've never even said one word to Amberly. She doesn't even look in my direction like when I drop Grayson off. I don't know if she just, thinks I'm gonna say something or hate her or something. I don't know, but she doesn't even look in my general direction. But I mean, that's a good thing for me and also kind of scary because I don't know you at all and I'm just supposed to trust you with my kid. I mean, I really, really hope, and I'm pretty sure Dalton wouldn't let, someone that would abuse Grayson around him if he had any hunch or anything like that. And she's got 3 kids of her own, so there's that. But I mean, you do hear those horror stories of when the step parents are alone with the kid, things happen, and I mean, I feel like I have every right to be worried about it, but also Dalton has the right to worry about Lawson. I mean, he doesn't know Lawson. Just because I know Lawson doesn't mean he does, and I get it, and that's why I don't think Dalton and I have really argued about, each other's significant other. So, I mean, we're dealing with it okay, I guess. I mean, I don't know Amberly, so I can't say I hate her or like her. But as far as I can tell, she's fine. She's got 3 kids of her own, like I said, and Grayson comes home relatively okay most of the time, but I don't really, pin that on Amberly. I kind of just think he's 2, and I think sometimes Dalton doesn't really watch him as close as I do, but again, he is 2. He thinks that he's more independent than I think he is, I guess, but I mean, he's fine. I mean, Grayson's coming home fine, so again, it's just cool, I guess. I don't know what to say about it. Like, it's not my decision. I just really hope that she's really good with Grayson, and I mean, so far I think she has been. She even helped him make a Mother's Day card for me, which was really nice of her. But yeah, like I said, I don't know her, so I can't, say, oh, she's a horrible person, or I can't say, oh, I love her because blah, blah, blah. I've never even said 2 words to the girl. So, and it's honestly weird to me because I haven't spoken to her at all, but Dalton and Lawson have had, like, straight up huge conversations without me around. So, it's just weird, I guess, and I don't know, I guess I try not to think about it like that. I just think, I just pray to God that she's okay with Grayson, and what else can I do? I'm not gonna, that's Dalton's life and his love life, good for them, I guess. So, and I think someone also asked, like, on that question, what about him step parenting other kids? Good. I mean, be around more kids when you're not, when you don't have Grayson. That's great. I kind of wish I had a kid so I can, you know, occupy myself while Grayson's not here, because I do nothing when Grayson's not here and I get very restless. Um, so, yeah, that's all I really have to say about that, I guess. Next question. How do you handle being away from Grayson for so long? Um, that's really hard because I don't think I handle it at all. Um, it's, like I said, I don't really handle it. It's just, I gotta take it day by day, and even that's hard. I gotta take it second by second. Like, what am I gonna do until Lawson gets home? Because when Lawson gets home, it's a lot easier for me because I'm not, by myself thinking about, where's Grayson? What's he doing? I miss him and all this stuff. So, it's not handling it. It's just tolerating it, I guess. And if I could have my way, I, would have Grayson here with me all the time. But it is good for him that he's with his dad, and his dad's side of the family has a ton of family. He's got aunts, cousins, blah blah blah, everywhere. I just have my mom, my stepdad, and my dad. That's the extent of my family. I have a couple like distant relatives, like cousins and stuff, but it's not like I talk to them on a daily basis or anything, and it's not, I don't know. And I have my siblings. I have my little brother Austin, but we don't get along. I mean, we tolerate and we mess around, but we didn't have, the best relationship growing up, so we're not that close. I have what I call my adopted sister, not officially adopted, Sister Kendra, who used to live with us. I miss her like crazy, but she lives in Oregon. We only really catch up when we see each other posted on Facebook or something. But we don't really talk on a daily basis. And she's got 2 kids of her own, and I think she's a single mom, so she's busy in and of itself. I have my dad's other daughter, Chelsea. She lives out here now. She just moved out here from Colorado, and she's living with my dad. But I just met her. I think I was like a sophomore in high school when I first met her, and we just don't talk. I mean, there's not really an excuse. We just don't talk. My mom has 2 other kids that are older than me, Megan and Ryan. I've never met Ryan in my entire life because Megan and Ryan were taken from my mom when, God, it was before I was obviously born or anything, because my mom hadn't even met my dad yet. But they were taken, and my mom just reconnected with Megan a few years ago when I was in high school via Facebook, so that was super cool to meet Megan. But Megan lives in Alabama, and she's married and has a daughter. But I haven't talked to Megan since before Grayson was even born. Like, when I was first pregnant, I told her I was pregnant, and she didn't agree, and she was kind of hurting my feelings with the things she was saying, so we just kind of stopped talking. We had a falling out and have not talked since, and she hasn't come out to visit in a while either. So, yeah, I don't really talk to any of my siblings. And like I said, I have a few other like relatives, like my, I guess, aunts / cousins. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a huge weird line, and I don't feel like explaining it. I have my aunts / cousins, Kelly and Emily, and they have their own kids and everything. But like I said, we don't really talk that much either. But I am thinking we're going to Kelly's house, who actually just doesn't live that far from us, this weekend when Grayson's around, so we can go see the twins and hang out in the pool and see Maddox and everything. So that'll be really fun. But yeah, I'm totally getting off track. Being away from Grayson, like I said, it's not handling it. It's just kind of coping with it second by second, because if I really sit here and think about, wow, Grayson's not here, you can hear that I start tearing up, and I don't know what to do, and I don't know what to, I just try to occupy myself as much as I can, and it's really hard because I don't want to get a job right now because Grayson's in speech therapy, and he needs me to be here a few times out of the month, and I know a lot of jobs aren't going to be okay with me, not going to work like 4 to 6 times a month for my kids' speech therapy, because they're going to need me to be there and reliable and everything. And it's not like every Tuesday and Thursday, it's, you know, the next time his therapist is available when Grayson's here. So that's why I'm not getting a job right now, and I'm really grateful that Lawson makes enough for me to be a stay-at-home mom. But it's the weeks that Grayson aren't here that are extremely hard, and I don't know what to do. And yeah, like I said, I'm just kind of coping, and a lot of people are saying, wow, I don't know how you handle it. I wouldn't be able to handle it. And it actually kind of hurts my feelings more than anything, because like I said, if it were up to me, he'd be with me all the time, and I don't handle it. It's really freaking hard. And parents that are with their kids all the time, I'm so jealous. I would love to have Grayson here all the time, and I don't handle him being away very well at all. For everyone that knows me knows that I'm crazy about Grayson, and how I wish he was here, and how I really struggle with co-parenting for many reasons. Sorry. So yeah, I don't handle it. So that's the answer to your question. I just don't handle it. Anyway, the next question is, how do you and Dalton communicate? Well, we don't really. We're not very good at it. I think both of us are pretty short-tempered, so when one of us blows up, the other one gets blown up, and then it just becomes a huge deal when it really shouldn't have from the start. But I call Dalton every day that he has Grayson. Honestly, he doesn't really answer my phone calls most of the time. I mean, I call him during the middle of the day, like 12 or so, because his work schedule isn't really specific. Like, sometimes he gets off super early, sometimes he gets off super late, so I call just to, hey, how was Grayson this morning, and what time are you going to get home, so I can talk to him. And sometimes he gives me kind of attitude, but I get it. I mean, his job is kind of stressful. The company itself is stressful. But yeah, I mean, and then I try to call him at night, and then sometimes he's not home yet, even at like 5 or 6, and other nights he just spaces calling me back, I guess, which kind of scares the crap out of me, but I gotta just trust him, I guess, and hope that he lets me know what Grayson's doing. Sometimes he'll send me pictures randomly, which is really nice. But yeah, for the most part, we don't really talk that much when he has him, and it's not like I call him and he doesn't call me too much when Grayson's with me. I mean, he'll call and check every couple days or so. But yeah, I mean, we're better at communicating now that we had the mediation, and we're not arguing about what days each of us get him or whatever. But there's definitely still arguments that I feel are very unnecessary and ridiculous and whatever. But we're really trying, for Grayson's sake, to just get along and do what's best for Grayson and put our personal issues aside for Grayson. Like I said, it's easier, but it's still pretty dang hard, and I really wish we didn't fight that much, because I feel like if I wasn't so stressed out about Dalton, then maybe I would be able to cope with Grayson being gone for so long much easier. But the fact that I don't really trust Dalton 100%, the fact that he doesn't really talk to me 100% like I'd like him to keep me updated, it kind of makes it harder. So, I mean, like I said, we're better, but it's just, it could definitely use some work, I guess. Next question. Sorry guys, I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, so I just got a phone call. Anyway, I'm glad that at least the call was right when I started a question. The question was, why is Grayson in speech therapy? Like I was saying, he just turned 2 at the very end of February. So when we went to the doctor, they wanted us to fill out a survey that said, basically asked, does he do this? Does he say this? Does he, blah, 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 and asked all these personality questions. And the doctor was pretty concerned about it, that at that time he didn't say very much. He maybe said 5, maybe 10 words. He didn't address anyone. He still wasn't saying mama or anything. Like, one of the first words that he really said for sure was like car, because he loves cars. He said truck and hi and bye, but it wasn't very clear. So they were really concerned, so we had him tested for autism, and they said that he is at risk. like I said, he's at risk. So they said to start speech therapy, and they won't diagnose autism until he's at least 3, because, I mean, for all we know, it could just be a speech delay, and that's it. So he's in speech therapy now. He works with 2 different companies, and they don't just teach Grayson stuff and then leave. They teach me how to help him when they're not here and all that, and just basically monitor him and stuff, and it's really helpful. He hasn't been in it for too long, because it was an extremely long process to get this started, let me tell you. They were concerned when he was, before he even turned 2, so we started trying to get him into speech therapy around November of last year, and he just now, this last week, is done with all the testing and the questions and all this paperwork and stuff, and it's mid-May, so it took a really long time. But he is starting, and he's definitely talking a lot more. He still can't say complete sentences or anything, but he knows how to communicate, like by directing us towards what he wants or stuff like that. But he still is not where his doctors would like him to be, because I know most people with 2-year-olds, or most 2-year-olds, have full sentences to say and stuff like that. So Grayson cannot do that, unfortunately, but he's getting better, and I'm really hoping that he can just scoop up back to where he needs to be, and that be it. So I'm really hoping that happens soon. Like I said, he's doing a lot better. He actually is trying to talk a lot more, which is amazing, and we're all super excited. But we'll just have to see how it goes, and yeah, hopefully it goes well. They also asked how is it going, and how does Dalton deal with it. He's doing really good. Like I said, he gets kind of shy around him, but they mostly come over with like some blocks and stuff, and he loves to play with them. So like I said, they don't like say, hey, say this, or whatever. They tell me what to do when they're not here. Like, hey, talk a lot to him, like be very, very verbal about every little thing you're doing and all that stuff. So like I said, it's been helping. He's doing pretty good. He's still behind, but he's doing a lot better, so that's awesome. Dalton hasn't been here for any of his speech therapies, because they come to my house, and he lives in Coolidge, which is 2 hours away. So yeah, it's kind of hard for him to get out here, especially in the middle of the day. But I let him know how it goes every time, and he knows that he's got a speech delay, but I don't think he's really come to terms with that he might be autistic. And I know he's really struggling with it. So, I mean, that's more of a question for Dalton on how he's handling it, because I don't really know how he's handling it. I just know that he was kind of really concerned about Grayson, and he knows that he's got a speech delay, but he doesn't want it to be that way. But no parent does, so again, that's a question for Dalton. I don't really know how he's handling it. All I know is that he was having a rough time with it, so hopefully he can come to terms with it pretty soon and just worry about helping Grayson, Next question is, how is Grayson and Lawson acting together? Grayson loves Lawson, and Lawson loves Grayson, because Lawson was there my entire pregnancy. I mean, not physically, but we were talk every single day when I was pregnant. We were together for a little bit in my pregnancy, but not very long, because I was very moody and it was hard for me. But yeah, he was there the whole time, and so he's known Grayson literally since before he came out, and Grayson's always been familiar with his voice. So Grayson loves Lawson, though. It's so nice to see them together, because I couldn't be with someone that didn't like my kid, or if my kid didn't like them, that's just an automatic deal breaker. But when Lawson leaves in the mornings for work and Grayson's sitting at the table and watches him leave, he'll cry and he'll be pretty sad. And then when he gets home, he gets so excited and he only wants to play with Lawson at night, which kind of hurts my feelings. But Grayson's more attracted, or like closer to the men in his life. He's really close to all of his grandparents that are the guys, like all of his grandpas, and he's really close to Lawson, really close to Dalton. But he's been rubbing up on me and my mom lately, so he's been getting more into the girls, but he definitely is more into the guys. Like, he definitely likes to hang out with the guys more than the girls because he knows he's a guy. So, but yeah, he's really good with Lawson. Lawson's really good with him, and Lawson loves him like he's his own, and it's really, really nice. I love seeing them together. It's so fun, and they're so cute. So, yeah, like I said, that would definitely be a deal breaker if they weren't. So, they're doing really good. Where do you see yourself in the future? I'm hoping that within the next few months I can start a surgical tech program. I'm just waiting for my financial aid to finally catch up with me, I guess, because I was behind in student loans, so I have to get out of default before I can apply for student aid again. So hopefully within the next 2 or 3 months I can get it taken care of, and then I can start surgical tech program, which would be awesome. But in the meantime, I'm actually thinking about renewing my EMT license. I was Arizona and nationally certified, but I didn't really do anything with it. It was kind of just sitting in my wallet until something, in public would happen or something. But in the meantime, I think I'm going to renew that so I can work at the hospital or something. I don't want to work on an ambulance or a fire, in the fire station, because I can't work in a fire station because I am very claustrophobic and I cannot fight fires, and that's kind of a, requirement. So that's a no-go, and I don't really want to work in an ambulance because, I don't know, I don't really have a real reason for the ambulance. I'd prefer a hospital. So, yeah, so I'm really hoping that'll work out, but the main goal is to do surgical tech. If I could have it my way, I would actually go back to a university to become a teacher. I've always wanted to be a high school teacher, especially science, like chemistry and physics and all that stuff. But I definitely won't be able to afford that, and surgical tech is in the medical field. And I've always liked the medical field. Medical and teaching are like my 2 favorite things. So, but surgical tech is only, I think, a year, maybe just a little less to do, and it's pretty fun. It looked pretty fun, so yeah, that's what I really want to do, is one of those 3 things. So hopefully it all works out soon, because like I said, being home here without Grayson is like the worst thing ever. What do you want Grayson to do in the future? That's a hard question, because Grayson's only 2, and obviously all parents are like, oh, I want him to do this, this, and this. I want him to be so successful and so rich and so happy. Well, like every parent wants that, so that's obviously what I want for him. And that's all I really can say right now, is I just want him to be healthy. I want him to be back on track mentally. Like, I want him to be on track to everything. He's super high percentile for his height. He's really tall for his age, they say, so that's kind of cool. But I want him to be on track for kindergarten, and I'm going to put him in preschool so he can get really prepared for kindergarten really early. And like I said, I just want him to be on track. I want him to be happy. I want him to be successful. And what else can I really say? As long as he's happy, I'm happy. And the last question, do you want more kids? This is such a hard question. Yes, I want more kids. I want like at least 30 more kids. But right now we are not ready. Lawson isn't really ready for a kid right now for a couple of reasons, and I agree with him. This is why I'm with him. He keeps me grounded, because if it were up to me, I would have already had a baby by now. But yeah, he definitely keeps me grounded, and the fact that I'm super high energy and I'm like, oh, I want to do this right now, and he's like, slow your roll, calm down, think about it logically, and all this stuff. So that's why I'm glad I have him around. But yeah, I definitely want more kids, and I know Lawson wants kids. We're just not really ready because we're in a tiny little apartment that we don't really like. We want to buy a house before we have a baby, and Lawson wants a more reliable car before we have a baby. And I personally want to know what officially is going on with Grayson. I want to be here for him for speech therapies and stuff. I don't want to be pregnant or even have a baby while he's still going through all of this. I want to be here solely for him right now and make sure he's on track and getting everything that he needs before I worry about, focusing on someone else at the same time. Not that it would take all the attention away, but I think Grayson needs extra attention right now, my like extra focused attention. So that's why we're not really having kids right this second. But I am definitely getting baby fever, seeing everyone, you know, with their second, sometimes third babies, and I'm super jealous. But I know that this is what's best for me and my family right now, is to wait a little bit longer, unfortunately. So yeah, but that's all the questions I'm going to answer right now, because I know this video is getting really long. But thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Please comment any more questions that you may have, or advice, or hopefully nothing mean. And please subscribe to my channel, where I'm really going to try to keep putting videos up every day. But in the meantime, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys hopefully really soon. Bye guys!